Exercises. Announcement. Singer. Speed limit. Air. Infantry. Pilot. To serve. Ceremony. Wedding reception. Boss. Meeting. Cake. Exercise 1.
Look through the window, Peter. I can't see the sun because there are a lot of clouds.
Yes, the weather is awful. It's cool and gloomy.
Is the wind blowing?
I'm afraid so. The cold must be piercing.
Are we going to stay at home today?
I can't. I must go to work. How I wish I didn't have to.
Do you know Betty, Peter?
Yes, I do. What about her?
She has just divorced her husband after 15 years.
Well, I think she has never loved him. Their marriage wasn't happy.
But he loved her incredibly. He must be very upset now.
I think he isn't. I saw him with a nice girl yesterday.
Are we going on a trip this holiday?
Yes, but we don't have a car and we cannot afford a new one.
So let's get a second-hand car. They're cheaper.
Yes, they are. I will get the morning paper and we'll read the announcements.
How much money do we have?
Well, I thought we had more, but now I can see we can afford only bicycles. Exercise 2. Bill, Peter and Simon are farmers. They live in a small village in England. Bill's fields are the largest, but he hasn't any pastures for the cattle. So he decided to start arable farming, and now he grows oats, wheat and barley. His soil is so fertile that every year he has a high crop. The flour and farm food he produces are very healthy, and a lot of people from town come to him regularly to buy his produce. Peter has a large cattle farm near the country lane. He has so much work that a month ago he employed several farmhands to milk the cows and shear the sheep. He doesn't want to grow anything because he isn't interested in ploughing, sowing and harvesting. What he likes is going to the pastures to watch the cattle when they graze. Simon has just started mixed farming. He grows corn and rye, and he has some cows. He bought a tractor to make ploughing easier and built a new barn to store the grain. Recently, he has decided to plant potatoes because he hopes it will appear profitable. What kind of farm food does Bill produce?
Bill produces healthy farm food.
Why did Simon decide to plant potatoes?
Because it's profitable.
Where does Peter live?
He lives on a cattle farm near the country lane.
Why did Simon build a barn?
He built a barn to store the grain.
Who has the largest fields?
Bill has.
Why does Peter grow nothing?
Because he doesn't like harvesting.
What does Simon grow?
He grows corn and rye.
Whose soil is fertile?
Bill's soil is fertile.
Whom did Peter employ to shear the sheep?
He employed farmhands.
What does Peter like to do in the pasture?
He likes to watch his cattle. Exercise 3. Where is Jane?
In her room. She's got a new book.
When I need her. She is always reading when I need her. Can't Peter clean the kitchen?
He's busy. There's a film on TV.
TV when I want him to do something. He is always watching TV when I want him to do something. Did you tell Joan about our new car?
Yes, I did. Why are you asking?
I don't want Bill to know about it, and Joan, everybody, what she hears from us. I don't want Bill to know about it, and Joan is always telling everybody what she hears from us. What is Peter doing?
He's cutting the hedge.
But he started cutting the hedge yesterday. Everything so slowly. But he started cutting the hedge yesterday. He's always doing everything so slowly. Where is Jane?
She's taken some flower seeds and went to the garden.
Oh, no. She... Flowers 2 weeks too early. Oh, no. She was always planting flowers 2 weeks too early. Have you seen Jack's new cow?
I don't believe he's bought any.
Well, you are right. He... About new cows, but he hasn't bought any for 5 years. Well, you are right. He is always talking about new cows, but he hasn't bought any for 5 years. Where are the children?
They went to the meadow.
Don't they know the bull is there? Why? Where they mustn't go. Don't they know the bull is there? Why are they always going where they mustn't go? Must you listen to the radio now?
Billy Simons is singing.
You... To him. Don't you like any other singers? You are always listening to him. Don't you like any other singers? You are driving too fast.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You... When you see the speed limit. Yes, you are. You are always accelerating when you see the speed limit. Do you mind opening the window?
Don't do it, please. I don't want to shiver.
You... When the window is open. Don't you like fresh air? You are always shivering when the window is open. Don't you like fresh air? Exercise 4. For whom is the law always severe?
It is always severe for criminals.
When do the police arrest a thief?
They arrest him when they catch him.
Why must the police sometimes release somebody?
Because the evidence isn't sufficient.
Why is murder the worst crime?
Because it's always brutal and violent.
What sentence can a murderer get?
He can get the death sentence.
Why are a lot of people against capital punishment?
Because the murderer's behaviour can change and he could become a different man after several years. Exercise 5. May. Monday the 20th, go to the cinema. Tuesday the 21st, meet Mary at 7. Wednesday the 22nd, clean the black suit. Thursday the 23rd, talk with the management about the raise. Friday the 24th, buy a present for John. Saturday the 25th, go to the barber. Sunday the 26th, attend John's wedding.
On Monday the 20th of May, Peter is going to... On Monday the 20th of May, Peter is going to go to the cinema. On Tuesday... On Tuesday the 21st of May, he is going to meet Mary at 7. On Wednesday... On Wednesday, the 22nd of May, he is going to clean the black suit. On Thursday, the 23rd of May, he is going to talk with the management about the raise. On Friday, the 24th of May, he is going to buy a present for John. On Saturday, the 25th of May, he is going to go to the barber. On Sunday, the 26th of May, he is going to attend John's wedding.
Exercise 6. There are 366 days in a... There are 366 days in a leap year. 2 weeks is the same as a... 2 weeks is the same as a fortnight. Monday is a weekday. There are 7 days in the... There are 7 days in the week. There are 30 or 31 in a month. There are 30 or 31 days in a month. Tomorrow is the future. Yesterday was was the past. There are 4 in a year. There are 4 seasons in a year. Is 100 years. A century is 100 years. People are often afraid at night when it is... People are often afraid at night when it is midnight.
Exercise 7. When a young man joins the army, he is usually 19 or 20 years old. He must often spend 2 years in the Air Force, Navy or infantry. When he goes to the Air Force, his life can be interesting. He is usually a pilot who flies all kinds of aircraft, jet fighters and bombers. He learns how to use aircraft weapons to destroy buildings or trenches of a hostile army. He must also learn how to defend bombers during the attack. Sometimes he even learns how to fly in space. Soldiers who go to the Navy learn how to fight on ships and in submarines. Their job is dangerous because during the battle their ships and submarines often sink, and there are always a lot of casualties. Sometimes the soldiers serve on aircraft carriers, and then they know a lot about Navy and Air Force. In the infantry there are always a lot of soldiers. They learn how to dig trenches, how to use their rifles and ammunition, and what measures to take to defend the civilians. Infantry is always supported by tanks, so they must learn how to cooperate with them. Exercise 8. Where can I put the flowers?
Well, you can put them anywhere.
What do you want for dinner today?
I can have... with potatoes. I can have anything with potatoes.
Who knew about that incident?
I don't know, but... could hear us. I don't know, but anybody could hear us.
I don't know what to put on.
Put on... You look beautiful, even in that old dress. Put on anything. You look beautiful, even in that old dress.
Where can I get flower seeds?
Well, I think you can get them in the supermarket or a flower shop. Well, I think you can get them anywhere, in the supermarket or a flower shop.
I'm afraid this letter got lost. Who could steal it?
Well, there are always so many people in this office that could do it. Well, there are always so many people in this office that anybody could do it.
What are you going to write this book about?
I don't know yet. I can write about which is interesting for people. I don't know yet. I can write about anything which is interesting for people.
Where is John?
I don't know. He can be in England or the United States. I don't know. He can be anywhere, in England or the United States.
It's Kate's birthday tomorrow. What are we going to buy for her?
She'll be satisfied with... She has almost nothing. She'll be satisfied with anything. She has almost nothing.
How can I find someone to repair the tap?
Well, can do it. Even me. Well, anybody can do it. Even me.
Exercise 9. Frost. Cold. Rainbow. Colourful. Thunder. Lightning. Heat wave. Hot. Hailstone. Ice. Shelter. Safe. Ditch. Deep. Exercise 10. It's 8:30. Tom starts work at 9.
It's time Tom drove to work.
Jane wants to buy a new house, but she hasn't enough money.
Suppose Jane had enough money.
Peter's car isn't working today, so he must walk, and he's almost late for the station.
It would be better if Peter hurried up.
They have never met Mary, so they can't know she is marrying Chris.
Fancy they knew about it.
I'm not old enough to watch this film.
I wish I were older.
Fortunately, they have enough time to be here on time.
Suppose they didn't have time.
She is very ill, but the doctors can't help her.
I wish the doctors could help her.
We must stay at home for the holiday.
Imagine we went to the mountains.
Simon's train departs at 10.
It's time Simon left the house.
We cannot buy this car if our parents don't help us.
Suppose our parents helped us.
Exercise 11. I saw Mary's wedding yesterday.
How did you like it?
Well, they couldn't have better weather on their wedding day. The sun was shining and there weren't any clouds in the sky.
Was Mary wearing a white dress?
Have you ever seen a bride who wasn't? Of course her dress was white and long, and the bridegroom was in a black suit.
Did they have many guests?
Yes, there were a lot of people, and Mary and Bill were married during a religious ceremony.
Did you see the wedding ring?
Yes, it was beautiful.
And what about the wedding reception?
It was in the garden. Everybody enjoyed it very much.
Jane is talking to Peter about Mary's wedding that she attended yesterday. The weather couldn't be better, because the sun was shining and there weren't any clouds in the sky. Mary was wearing a white long dress, and the bridegroom had a black suit. Mary and Bill had a lot of guests. They were married during a religious ceremony. After the service, they had their wedding reception in the garden. Jane says that everybody enjoyed it very much.
What is Jane talking to Peter about? Where weren't there any clouds? What was Mary wearing? Who had a black suit? How many guests did Mary and Jack have? When were they married? Where did they have their wedding party?
Exercise 12. Anne asked Simon if he was going to marry Betty. Simon said he wasn't.
Are you going to marry Betty?
No, I'm not. Simon asked Anne where she had spent her last holiday. Anne said she had been in the mountains. Where did you spend your last holiday?
I was in the mountains.
Anne wanted to know how long Simon had worked for his boss. Simon told her that for more than 5 years.
How long have you worked for your boss?
For more than 5 years. Simon asked Anne who she had talked to. Anne said she had spoken to Jane. Who did you talk to?
I spoke to Jane.
Anne wanted to know if Simon liked working in the garden. Simon said he preferred working in the garden to watching TV.
Do you like working in the garden?
I prefer working in the garden to watching TV. Simon asked Anne when Tom had divorced Kate. Anne said that it had been in November. When did Tom divorce Kate?
It was in November.
Simon wanted to know if the murderer would get the death sentence. Anne answered that she didn't know. Will the murderer get the death sentence?
I don't know.
Anne asked Simon if the law in his country was severe for all criminals. Simon answered it was severe for people who committed violent crimes.
Is the law in your country severe for all criminals?
It is severe for people who commit violent crimes. Anne wanted to know when Simon's relatives were going to visit him. Simon said they were coming on Monday.
When are your relatives going to visit you?
They are coming on Monday. Simon asked Anne how much she had already earned. Anne answered she had earned some money, but too little to buy a car. How much have you already earned?
I have earned some money, but too little to buy a car. Exercise 13. It's 4:30 and Peter's coming at 5. I can make some tea. It's 4:30 and Peter's coming at 5. I can make some tea in the meantime. First he taught in this school, and now he writes books. But I don't remember what he was doing. First he taught in this school, and now he writes books. But I don't remember what he was doing formerly. The film is beginning. You are just in time. The film is beginning. We can go now. Oh, I forgot to switch off the cooker. We can go now. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to switch off the cooker. Now we're living in this small apartment, but we're going to build a large house. Now we're living in this small apartment, but in the future we're going to build a large house. So far I haven't won anything, but I will become a rich man. So far I haven't won anything, but one day I will become a rich man. We must hurry. It's 7, and in half an hour it will get dark. We must hurry. It's 7 p.m, and in half an hour it will get dark. Now we have cars, trains and planes, but people had to walk long distances. Now we have cars, trains and planes, but in the past people had to walk long distances. We needn't hurry, we have plenty of time. Come to see me at 11, because I must go shopping later in the afternoon. Come to see me at 11 a.m, because I must go shopping later in the afternoon.
Exercise 14.
When she entered the house, she saw that John was reading a book.
Entering the house, she saw John reading a book.
Peter was dialing the number when he heard the music from Jane's room.
Dialing the number, Peter heard the music from Jane's room.
The man who lives in this street knows the woman who bought this dress.
The man living in this street knows the woman buying this dress.
The family who always has dinner at John's restaurant is very rich.
The family always having dinner at John's restaurant is very rich.
When I attended the ceremony, I could see that my aunt was wearing a strange hat.
Attending the ceremony, I could see my aunt wearing a strange hat.
The animals which are leaping near the house are Betty's dogs.
The animals leaping near the house are Betty's dogs.
When they visited their relatives, they could see that Uncle Simon was repairing the tap.
Visiting their relatives, they could see Uncle Simon repairing the tap.
When Peter wanted to describe the mountains, he couldn't find the right words.
Wanting to describe the mountains, Peter couldn't find the right words.
When she accelerated, she saw that a police car tried to overtake her.
Accelerating, she saw a police car trying to overtake her.
When I opened the window, I could see that somebody was cutting flowers in my garden.
Opening the window, I could see somebody cutting flowers in my garden. Exercise 15. Army, navy, ship, submarine, naval, aircraft carrier, sea, sink. Army, air force, fighter, plane, jet, bomber, air, bring down. Exercise 16. Has John bought this car for his wife?
Oh no, he's bought the car for... Oh no, he's bought the car for himself.
Can you make some tea, Mary?
Can't you do it? I'm so tired. Can't you do it yourself? I'm so tired. Did Simon help you to plant the flowers?
Nobody helped me. I did it. Nobody helped me. I did it myself.
Are Jane and Jack going to pay someone to clean their windows?
No, they always do it. No, they always do it themselves. I would like to have something sweet.
Why don't you get a sweet apple? Why don't you get yourself a sweet apple?
The boy who usually feeds the animals won't come today.
So we'll have to do it. Ourselves.
I saw Betty in a new dress yesterday.
Did you? She hardly ever buys anything for... Did you? She hardly ever buys anything for herself.
Why is Bill crying so loud?
Oh, he's hurt. Oh, he's hurt himself. Peter, look at... Your hair is too long. Peter, look at yourself. Your hair is too long.
I'm going to the barber tomorrow. Are you sure the train departs at 10?
Jack said so, but I'll check it. Jack said so, but I'll check it myself. Exercise 17. War. Peace. Abstract. Concrete. Join. Desert. Space. Earth. Civilian. Military. build, destroy, friendly, hostile, soldier, civilian, give, receive, fact, idea, enemy, ally, agree, disagree, fight, surrender, attack, defend.
Exercise 18. You're at the party worried Jane, who wanted to meet you. Your absence at the party worried Jane, who wanted to meet you. This work needs a lot of... You must do it very slowly. This work needs a lot of patience. You must do it very slowly. It's Betty's... Today, she's 30. It's Betty's birthday today. She's 30. Is there any... to get a loan in this bank? Is there any opportunity to get a loan in this bank? It was my last... to talk to him. I'll never try again. It was my last attempt to talk to him. I'll never try again. He's got an awful... of smoking cigarettes before breakfast. He's got an awful habit of smoking cigarettes before breakfast. The train came late. It had a 20 minutes... The train came late. It had a 20 minutes delay. Her... was terrible. She looked old and tired. Her appearance was terrible. She looked old and tired. They gave me a... that they will never steal again. They gave me a promise that they will never steal again. His... of old stamps is impressive. His collection of old stamps is impressive. Teaches us about the past. History teaches us about the past. The paper is delivered daily. I have it on... The paper is delivered daily. I have it on subscription. Your... to my question is not good. Your answer to my question is not good. What is the... of today's meeting? What is the subject of today's meeting? The largest in this paper says about the accident which happened yesterday. The largest headline in this paper says about the accident which happened yesterday. Peter said I could do it if I knew how.
Peter said he could do it if he knew how.
Joan said, I wish I were engaged.
Joan said she wished she were engaged.
Tom said, it's time the police arrested that shoplifter.
Tom said it was time the police arrested that shoplifter.
Mary asked, will Jack marry Betty if she believes that he loves her?
Mary asked if Jack would marry Betty if she believed that he loved her.
Kate said, I would divorce my husband, but I cannot desert the children.
Kate said she would divorce her husband, but she couldn't desert the children.
Betty asked, would they accuse Tom of blackmail if they found evidence?
Betty asked if they would accuse Tom of blackmail if they found evidence.
Chris said, if I buy this fast car, the police will never catch me to give me a ticket for speeding.
Chris said that if he bought this fast car, the police would never catch him to give him a ticket for speeding.
Bill asked, is it time we attended the ceremony?
Bill asked if it was time they attended the ceremony.
John said, they would be against him if he were guilty.
John said they would be against him if he were guilty.
Mary asked, could you report it to the management?
Mary asked if I could report it to the management. Exercise 20. Can we go for a walk today?
We can do it now. Go. We can do it now. Let's go.
Kate wants to buy a stamp collection.
Why not? She has her own money. Do it. Why not? She has her own money. Let her do it.
Jack wants to ring Anne.
Ring her? She won't talk to him. Let him not ring her. She won't talk to him.
I saw a nice blanket in the shop window.
Buy it if you like it. Let's buy it if you like it.
Jack wants to repair the car himself.
Try. He knows a lot about cars. Let him try. He knows a lot about cars.
Do you think we can buy a house in the suburbs?
Oh, no. Do it. We haven't enough money. Oh, no, let's not do it. We haven't enough money.
I think the children are playing too long.
But they're on holiday. Play as long as they want. But they're on holiday. Let them play as long as they want.
Anna's going to marry that man.
Do it. He's a criminal. Let her not do it. He's a criminal.
How many guests are we going to have?
Well, invite your parents, my parents, and your sister. Well, let's invite your parents, my parents, and your sister.
What are we going to do tomorrow?
Think. We could stay at home. Let me think. We could stay at home. Exercise 21. I was reading yesterday at 7. Have you invited her already? She dusts the wardrobe from time to time. Where are the children playing now? Betty looked through the window when John was entering the garden. They liked to attend school when they were children. Before he left, he had had a cup of tea. We have lived in this house for 10 years. Will you come to see me tomorrow? She hasn't visited the capital yet.
Exercise 22. Bill is ill. In hour, we'll take him to hospital. Bill is ill. In an hour, we'll take him to hospital. Father is going to become president. Winter of 1995 was beautiful in village. Winter of 1995 was beautiful in the village. Are you going to town by car? Who is tallest of 4 boys? Who is the tallest of the 4 boys? Please bring me orange from kitchen. Please bring me an orange from the kitchen. I want cheaper of 2 cars. I want the cheaper of the 2 cars. They need 2 coats and 1 warm blanket. My pencil is on your desk. In 60s, there were a lot of cars in England. In the 60s, there were a lot of cars in England.
Exercise 23. Years have you worked as a teacher? How many years have you worked as a teacher? Of these 2 lamps, do you want to choose? Which of these 2 lamps do you want to choose? Did you spend last summer? Where did you spend last summer? Told you about this accident. Who told you about this accident? Children, are they? Whose children are they? Sugar do you need to make the cake? How much sugar do you need to make the cake? Are you talking so loudly? Why are you talking so loudly? Are you going to buy her for her birthday? What are you going to buy her for her birthday? Did Simon open an account? When did Simon open an account? Have you put the money? Where have you put the money?
I have worked as a teacher for 7 years. I want to choose the red one. I spent last summer in the mountains. Told me about this accident. My brother told me about this accident. They are children. They are Peter's children. You need of sugar to make the cake. You need 2 glasses of sugar to make the cake. Because John can't hear. I'm going to buy I'm going to buy a beautiful blouse. Simon opened an account. Simon opened an account yesterday. I've put the money on the kitchen table.
Exercise 24.
What are you going to do? Work.
Well, at first I must talk Jack.
What are you going to do at work?
Well, at first I must talk with Jack.
What are you looking, Tom?
I'm looking for the book I got Anne yesterday.
What are you looking for, Tom?
I'm looking for the book I got from Anne yesterday.
Do you want to go a walk, Tom?
Yes, I do. We can go the park.
Do you want to go for a walk, Tom?
Yes, I do. We can go to the park.
What are you doing in the kitchen?
I'm looking the new cooker.
What are you doing in the kitchen?
I'm looking at the new cooker.
Were the children at school the morning?
Yes, they were. They returned home 1 p.m.
Were the children at school in the morning?
Yes, they were. They returned home at 1 p.m.
When are your parents coming to see us?
2 days. Wednesday.
When are your parents coming to see us?
In 2 days, on Wednesday.
What are these people, the street, doing?
I think they are going the office building.
What are these people in the street doing?
I think they are going into the office building.
Are we going to spend the holiday home?
No, we'll spend the holiday the country.
Are we going to spend the holiday at home?
No, we'll spend the holiday in the country.
What do you want, dinner?
Anything cooked, you will be delicious.
What do you want for dinner?
Anything cooked by you will be delicious.
Have you had any news about Bill Monday?
I haven't heard anything. 10 days.
Have you heard any news about Bill since Monday?
I haven't heard anything for 10 days. Exercise 25. Usually, to have, at, Betty, breakfast, 8.
Betty usually has breakfast at 8.
To attack, at the moment, enemy, they, the.
They're attacking the enemy at the moment.
Every, parents, to subscribe, our, gear, to, magazine, this.
Our parents subscribe to this magazine every year.
To attend, wedding, the, now, the, ceremony, guests.
The guests are attending the wedding ceremony now.
There, very, way, in, these, to commit, always, burglars, crimes, brutal.
These burglars always commit their crimes in a very brutal way.
To prosecute, her, murder, now, police, husband, for, the.
The police are prosecuting her husband for murder now.
You, what, at the moment, to dial, number.
What number are you dialing at the moment?
To like, to watch, films, night, John's, at, brother.
John's brother likes to watch films at night.
Any, crimes, to feel, never, remorse, he, his, for.
He never feels any remorse for his crimes.
The, Peter, now, to milk, meadow, in, cows.
Peter is milking the cows in the meadow now.
Exercise 26. Late, early, late. Full, empty, fully. True, false, truly. Easy, difficult, easily. Wide, narrow, wide, widely. High, low, high. Hard, easy, hard. Silly, clever, in a silly way, manner. Happy, unhappy, happily. Deep, shallow, deeply. Safe, dangerous, safely. Friendly, hostile, in a friendly way, manner. Dull, interesting, dully. Light, dark, light. Good, bad, well.
Exercise 27. Peter, a bus driver for 25 years. His work when he, 23. Driving the bus, a lot of English towns and cities. 10 years ago, to go abroad. So far, in 11 countries in Europe. Peter has been a bus driver for 25 years. He started his work when he was 23. Driving the bus, he has visited a lot of English towns and cities. 10 years ago, he started to go abroad. So far, he has been in 11 countries in Europe. John and Mary, married since 1990. A new house and 2 cars. Last year, they both working in an office and their own business. John and Mary have been married since 1990. They have already built a new house and bought 2 cars. Last year, they both stopped working in an office and opened their own business. My friend Simon, interested in learning, to school when he 7, but any books yet? A few films and read newspapers. My friend Simon has never been interested in learning. He went to school when he was 7, but he hasn't read any books yet. He has only watched a few films and read newspapers. To our new apartment. It last week and a lot of work to put the wallpaper on the walls, the rugs on the floor and the furniture. Yesterday a few friends, but so far we have just moved to our new apartment. We bought it last week and had a lot of work to put the wallpaper on the walls, the rugs on the floor and the furniture. Yesterday we invited a few friends, but so far they haven't come.
Exercise 28. The boys were shearing the sheep. We were harvesting barley. The boys were shearing the sheep while we were harvesting barley. I was opening the window. I saw my mother. I was opening the window when I saw my mother. The telephone rang. I was reading the book. The telephone rang while I was reading the book. She was fighting against that man. Peter helped her. She was fighting against that man when Peter helped her. The planes were bombing the town. I arrived there. The planes were bombing the town when I arrived there. They were listening to the radio. The guests came. They were listening to the radio when the guests came. The clock was striking 7. We turned the TV set on. The clock was striking 7 when we turned the TV set on. She was dialing the number. She was thinking what to say. She was dialing the number while she was thinking what to say. I was describing the accident to him. He said he had seen it himself. I was describing the accident to him when he said he had seen it himself. She was mopping the floor. Her husband was dusting the carpet. She was mopping the floor while her husband was dusting the carpet.
Exercise 29. Unless you dinner, you will not get ice creams. Unless you eat dinner, you will not get ice creams. His car in the accident. His car was damaged in the accident. If he to see us tomorrow, him the news. If he comes to see us tomorrow, we will tell him the news. If you, learning English now, you very well next year. If you started learning English now, you would speak it very well next year. Our new church, in 5 years. Our new church will be built in 5 years. They, with us now if they, time. They would go with us now if they had time. If I, rich, I, a house in the country. If I were rich, I would buy a house in the country. I, a letter to her tomorrow if I, a stamp. I will write a letter to her tomorrow if I buy a stamp. Peter said it, time we, our old car. Peter said it was time we sold our old car. You can't let him the car now. You can't let him drive the car now. I wish I swim as well as you do. I wish I could swim as well as you do. If we, more fighters next month, we, the war. If we have more fighters next month, we will win the war. The information by the management last week. The information was given by the management last week. If you going to feed the animals, you buy some food. If you are going to feed the animals, you must buy some food. If the sun, tomorrow, we to London. If the sun shines tomorrow, we will go to London. My father said that if I, this book, more about trains. My father said that if I read this book, I would know more about trains. If only she, about it. If only she thought about it. We are still looking for the children, but so far only 2 of them. We are still looking for the children, but so far only 2 of them have been found. If you, the red blouse now, you, better. If you chose the red blouse now, you would look better. It is time you, me the books. It is time you brought me the books.
Exercise 30. Between these 2 cars is that the red one is longer. The difference between these 2 cars is that the red one is longer. He said that he had lost all his money. He said sadly that he had lost all his money. She wants to her garden tomorrow. She wants to dig her garden tomorrow. That man has just an expensive watch. That man has just stolen an expensive watch. All cows from this farm are grazing in the meadow. I have only one friend. I have only one reliable friend. His last was a very good toaster. His last invention was a very good toaster. They, as very much when they said they were leaving the country. They surprised us very much when they said they were leaving the country. This big dog, the children. This big dog scared the children. Our teacher was nicer than the present one. Our former teacher was nicer than the present one. 100 in our town are mechanics. 100 inhabitants in our town are mechanics. He has never been ill. He has never been ill. He's very healthy. We usually switch on the light in our houses after sunset. Do you think it is to buy this house for so much money? Do you think it is possible to buy this house for so much money? No. He, a book from me, but has not returned it yet. He borrowed a book from me, but has not returned it yet. You must take off these clothes. You are very cold. You must take off these wet clothes. You are very cold. I always keep my in a good bank. I always keep my deposit in a good bank. I have a very fast car and can anyone on the road. I have a very fast car and can overtake anyone on the road. I think there aren't any people here. This village looks... I think there aren't any people here. This village looks deserted. Last year, our cattle on this pasture. Last year, our cattle grazed on this pasture. The Atlantic is between America and Europe. The Atlantic Ocean is between America and Europe. There are a lot of animals in this. There are a lot of animals in this zoo. Did your mother you to go with us? Did your mother forbid you to go with us? The from London to Newcastle is very long. The distance from London to Newcastle is very long. We will have these bicycles in the shed. We will have to store these bicycles in the shed. After heavy rain, there was a beautiful rainbow. She washes her hair regularly. Do you like to eat food? Do you like to eat foreign food? This river is too for fish to live in. This river is too shallow for fish to live in. This year our crops have failed. Homework. Exercise 1.
Chris will have to employ some farmhands for the summer.
Have we got so much work to do?
You told me you were going to buy a few cows and some sheep. Who's going to feed them all?
OK, I'll look for several men to help us.
And I think we need someone to look after the garden when we are on holiday.
I don't think so. We won't be at home only for a week.
Why are you so late, Chris? I was getting upset.
The police stopped me just before the town.
For speeding, I think. You were always driving too fast. Did you get a ticket?
Oh, no. They were looking for a man who committed a brutal robbery.
Did they think it had been you? You don't look like a criminal.
I hope I don't. Somebody reported to them that the man they were looking for was driving the same car as ours.
I hope they will catch him sooner or later.